Sportsnet Lakers brought to you by Arrowhead Mountain Spring Water. I'm Chris McGee. I got Big Game James Worthy, Robert Ory, and Mike Bresnahan. The Lakers start off the home stand 2-0 as they take down the San Antonio Spurs. And before I get to you guys, we are going to go live to Crypto.com Arena. One of our favorite guys is joining us now. He's averaging over 30 points in his last 4 games. Austin Reaves. Austin, thank you so much for joining us. We had a funny soundbite in yesterday's game from Luka. He was all mic'd up. He went into the huddle. He looked at you guys and he said, "I've never been this open." The chemistry that you guys have shown together and the way this team's playing basketball, how much fun are you having with this style?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're a group right now that's come off a road trip, hungry to, get back to where we was. And, you've seen the competitive spirit, these last 2 games. And even that game in Denver, played super hard. We're together. We're still, building that chemistry with one another. But really like where we're at.
Austin, big game here. 34 assists in tonight's game. Talk about the distribution of the ball. When you handle it, you have Luka handling the ball, and soon to be having LeBron, that 3-headed monster. 34 assists. The ball is moving. The balance is there.
Yeah, anytime you got Luka on the court, he draws so much attention. Teams blitz him almost every possession when you get into a pick and roll. So he makes the right play, 99% of the time. And then if it's hitting Jax in the pocket and then letting Jax make a play, or if it's swinging to a guard and letting the guard make a play. But the floor is really spaced out right now. We're just continuing to make the right play and trusting in one another.
Austin, it's Brez. You guys are right in the middle of it. Such a crazy part of the schedule. How are you guys staying up right now? How are you handling all these games in such a short, compact time? You guys are doing great the last 2 days, that's for sure.
Yeah, winning helps a lot. Anytime you win, you're happy. But anytime you can come out here and play the game you love is fun. And your body might be sore after the game, might be sore tomorrow, but anytime you get in this arena or really any arena and you feel the energy, you're just out there ready to compete and give it 100%.
Awesome. Rob over here. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey, man. Let's play some ping pong, man. I think I got you now. So when we're going to get together, tell them to take that pool table out or put a ping pong table on top of that, and let's go at it.
They put one in.
They put one in?
You let me know when. Yeah, they put one in.
Okay. All right, so who's your toughest competition on the team?
I ain't played nobody, to be honest with you. I'd rather go play golf, if we're being honest.
I knew it was golf. See, I shot a
67 the other day. Yeah, I shot a 67 the other day, so we're hitting the ball well right now.
67, okay. That is nice. Oh, by the way, I know you don't like Jackson Hayes, but I know you're so happy for him on the way he's playing basketball right now.
Oh, man, it's a beautiful thing to see, but like you said, we're not great friends.
Austin, thanks for taking the time, man. We appreciate
y'all.
7 big games.
Out of 69, but that was after about 12 holes.
Oh, man. 30.8. So basically 31 in his last 4 games, 53%.
Wait for a second. 67.
67.
Well, he probably missed a few birdie putts
the other day. Just like on and off.
You know how hard that is to do, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hillbilly Bogey, let's go.
Anyway, he's good.
Crazy. And, by the way, he's good at ping pong. Did you beat him?
We were teammates.
Oh, you were teammates?
Yeah, we came in.
At the Dodger event?
Yeah, at Kershaw's
Foundation.
We came in 3rd. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough for you at Barnes Medal.
You came in 2nd?
Second title.
And cheated us at a championship.
Pretty impressive. Opening thoughts. The Lakers, James, I'm glad you brought that up. 34 assists, 6 players in double figures. They hit 19 threes. Pretty impressive big game, just the way they're playing basketball when healthy and that ball's moving.
When you work hard to develop team chemistry, and that's something that, a Coach Redick has done along with McMillan and Brooks and the rest of the coaching staff. These guys believe in what they're doing. So when you have a collective guys that believe in what they're doing, you might win a few games without some star players. Obviously, we did lose some, but the way they're playing never stopped. Even when they were losing, they were still trying to play with rhythm, move the ball, get other guys. And it's the others that really are starting to emerge. Vanderbilt, Smith, guys like that. Hayes coming back. You saw what the record was without him. So it shows how imperative it is to have those other guys to support the great players that you have. Luka having always an outlet, somewhere to pass. LeBron now doesn't have to, handle the ball as much. He's off ball. And then if you ever get in dire need and desperate, you always have Austin Reaves back there to make sure that things are continuing to run smooth. So collective effort, they're a real team, band of brothers, and they're playing together.
For me, I'm always excited when a player, a point guard or guard, whoever wants to, looks for you. One of the things when you play this game, everybody that was on this team, NBA, was a star at one point on their team. They got a lot of shots, they got a lot of touches. And when you get to a certain point like in the NBA, you become what they call a role player, and you don't get to shoot as much. But when you get a player like Luka, like a LeBron, like an AR, it excites you, man, because you get down the floor quicker, you get to your position faster, and you're ready to shoot. And it makes you play better defense. And right now, playing with Luka, playing with LeBron, playing with AR, these guys are excited. They're excited to play the game because they know at the end of the day they're going to get a shot, no matter who they are or where they are. So that's the most important thing to me, that it makes everybody a part of the group.
And, Brez, how nice is it when you have MVP candidate LeBron James out, Rui out, yes, 2 starters, and you can fill it in with Dorian Finney-Smith and Jordan Goodwin fills that spot, and they hit 7 threes between them, 15 points each. They're plus 24 between them. That's a nice luxury to have.
Yeah, we talked about it pregame. When you're good on the second night of a back-to-back, it shows a couple things, James. You're good. You've got talent, obviously. You got depth. That's what this team has right now. It's so impressive. Here we are, St. Patrick's Day. This team has completely reinvented itself from what it was earlier in the season. Rob, they were struggling on defense. They were not hitting their threes. Now, it's not uncommon for them to hold guys in the low 100s. Yeah, tonight got a little bit away from them, allowing 109 to the Spurs, but, everyone got keyed up with the Vanderbilt exchange. I kind of like that, too, by the way. This team has an enforcer. His name is Jared Vanderbilt. You don't want to go too far and get suspended by, hey, Sohan threw the ball at him. He wasn't going to take any of it. He got himself booted. He'll probably be upset about that. That's going to cost him a few grand, but I like the fact that they're tough. This team is hitting threes, they're playing defense, and they're tough. Who
was an enforcer in the writing world during your time, Brent? Were you an enforcer? If someone came in and put their laptop where it was supposed to be, did you knock that thing out of the way? And that was you?
Brad Turner, his email used to be madbt at whatever.
Space is tight in there sometimes. Now you guys elbowing around. I used to see you guys in there,
sometimes the camera guy hits you on the head when you're getting in the scrum. You start bleeding a little bit.
Hey, man, that's one less real nice sweater, too, for Vando. But you know what? It's worth it. I mean, Big Game was watching it. You loved it. I mean, listen, the guy's going to throw a ball at you. You can't let him do that in your house.
It wasn't a playoff game. It looks like we had the game in hand. He said a month ago, he says, look, I'm not an initiator, but I'm not going to back down. And we talked about having dogs on our team. You want that going, especially when you get down the stretch in the playoffs, when, teams are trying to take advantage of you physically. You want somebody to step up and say, not today. Just don't get thrown out the game. Yeah, right. That's the only thing.
But, man, you really can't do much, Rob. Can we just do the text and then let's move on and keep playing?
It's a famous line. I ain't no killer, but don't push me. And for me, I think that's Vandy. He's going to go out. He's going to play hard, no basketball. And at the end of the day, this is a word we throw around a lot. You can't get punked. If someone throws the ball at you, that's like challenging your manhood.
Yeah.
And so I guarantee the NBA is going to look at it. They're probably not going to find Vandy that much. But it's just one of those things you can't let happen as a player because it'll be a snowball effect where everybody keep trying and all of a sudden you snap, you don't put your hands on someone.
But don't throw guys out for this. This was weak. It's so weak. The double tech. They shouldn't even have to go review that. Just double take. Let's go.
Yeah, the review is what was.
Back in the day, they'd be like, cut it out, guys. Everybody. I mean, come on. It messes up the game.
There should have been one tech for throwing the ball. That had been called it a day.
Brez, you look at Luka's line. He's 5 for 21 for 7. So you think, it's a poor shooting night for Luka. He had 21, 14, and 9, and was a plus 19. So he did his job out there, and he found a way to get to the free throw line. That's what the best scorers, all-time scorers do, right? If you don't have it going from the field, you're going to get to the free throw line 13 times.
Yeah, Kobe was really good at this. When he was not shooting well, he'd find a way to stay involved in the game. He'd get rebounds. He'd find Powell in the post for easy buckets. The good guys, like you said, do have a way of finding little ways to contribute. And Luka, he's had a couple poor shooting nights at Crypto.com Arena. Just a few weeks ago, he was lamenting to me and a couple of their media guys, I'm not shooting well here. I'm new in this building. I got to figure it out. Well, he did. He's had some really good shoot nights there. Tonight, not one of them, but the 14 assists. I mean, that's a catalyst for so many other ways to score. It was impressive, despite the poor efficiency.
Agreed. Look, the guy, he went to the line 13 times.
A lot of free 13 times.
And the Lakers had 18 total. So he was the bulk of that. So, look, if he's not knocking down shots, he's getting to the line. If he's not doing that, he's distributing the basketball. Luka will find a way to be a contributor of the game. If he has a subpar game, he's still going to be contributing somewhat with his size and his ability. So just having him on the floor is a key. Having the ball in his hands, he's such a great decision maker, make things happen. So we like it.
All right, let's hear from J.J. Redick. You speak with Mike Trudell in the media.
JJ, there are a lot of nights in the NBA where your one team is going against a team that's shorthanded, and there's just kind of that mental hurdle tonight. Like Minnesota lost at home, Golden State loses at home. Why do you think you were able to kind of stem away from that and stay locked in on a back-to-back like this?
I thought there were stretches that we played good defensively. We lost our way at the end of the third, start of the fourth when they went on that run, but the way we were able to generate good offense, and I think it was 48 threes and 34 were uncontested. Just our guys' ability to connect, and Luka leading that with 14 assists, and probably could have had 18 or 19. But to have another game with 30-plus assists, I thought our offensive decision-making and consistency, where we had 4 really good offensive quarters was great.
And then with Luka kind of doing his thing, you also had Austin attacking sometimes on the weak side, sometimes as primary. What did you make of how kind of deadly he was with what he was?
Yeah, I think just the Luka and having Austin as the next passer a lot of times. So when there were 2 on the ball, or they were double, or we're in a heavy shift from the nail, having AR there as the guy that can either shoot or create the blender with his thrust on his drives was really good. And then that group that was playing end of first, start of second with Dalton and Vando, just playing out of our horns, our movement stuff out of horns. We got some really good stuff out of that. AR, Dalton, Vando, all of them.
To shift ahead to the next 2, how much will you reference what happened on the road against those teams? Not even motivation, but you had different personnel as you prepare for the Wednesday game against Denver. Looking at that game you guys just had there.
Yeah, I think against Denver, you're going to reference it a lot, because there were things that we did really well that we think we can emulate again, and then there were some things that we didn't do well, and particularly with that game, our transition defense has to be better, and then we have to do a better job of protecting the paint against Milwaukee.
JJ, I don't think you'll play a lot of games necessarily where you'll shoot almost 53s and 70% will be.
Sorry, I lost you there for a second. I'm going to play no games. I'm not going to play any games. I'm done.
Feels more like a Mike question than one for me, but the thing I'm wondering is are you guys unlocking stuff offensively in terms of, that was always going to follow kind of the defensive part of it, but are you seeing that guys are getting more comfortable playing with Luka, finding the right spots, the cuts, the when to flare and all of that stuff, and is this maybe a harbinger of the things you guys can be offensively?
Yes, and I think for us to fully unlock our team offense, we need to be whole. Again, going back to our group and their responsiveness to everything throughout the season, they generally have done an outstanding job. When we've challenged them on certain things, they've responded. I think Greg has done a really nice job with not a lot of court time over the last few weeks, and really breaking down on film what we want our spacing to look like versus blitzes in pick and roll versus doubles in the post versus doubles from the nail versus fires from the top. Like we've done some really good things against that, and then just if they're not going to double and they're not going to blitz, like our packaging around that has I think been good. And even in some of the games where we haven't necessarily had a great offensive rating, you can kind of attribute that to turnovers and missing shots. I mean, even just the last 2 games, our rim efficiency was really, really poor. I think we were like 10 for 23 at the half against Denver, and it wasn't great yesterday against Phoenix either. So I think it's all going to come together where, we're finishing, we're passing, we're taking care of the basketball, and we're making threes. But pleased with how we're able to generate good looks fairly consistently.
That Arrowhead water's good. Yeah. But that sparkling water's pretty good too, man. Get you some of that sparkling.
Don't sleep on that sparkling water.
Don't sleep on that sparkling water.
Game on 30 points.
Keep searching, man.
Keep searching.
Keep searching.
Something gonna land one of these days.
Keep on reaching. Let's go inside the locker room. Someone's with Allie. Austin, I believe.
Sparkling water is good, man.
Austin, just starting with the stretch that you guys are in right now, obviously no excuses, but what stood out to you most about this one and the job you guys were able to do?
I just thought we, played hard, stuck to the game plan, and we continue to build that chemistry, and I think you can tell by the way we're playing. Everybody's sharing the ball. Luka obviously causes so much, havoc for teams' defenses that the majority of the time you got to blitz him, and then you're playing 4-on-3. So it's just a fun brand of basketball, and after a long road trip that we was really bad on, it's good to get home and get back to winning.
I know you talked to the guys in the studio about the 34 assists, but just in terms of the overall chemistry, without 2 of your starters, for example, how are you guys able to kind of make it seem so seamless?
I think it's just a next man up mentality. We got a lot of guys in here that know how to play basketball, and I think when you do create some type of an advantage, it just becomes about making the right play, and I feel like we've done that the last couple nights. So it's fun.
They don't often rely on you to have to score a lot. Tonight you had 30. What would you like to have that kind of an offensive game?
It's fun. I mean, I really just like winning at the end of the day, regardless of what they ask me to do. Like to win, and that's really the fun part about team sports is winning.
What's the thought getting Denver again so quickly after playing them to the last minute there last week?
We know we're going to come in and they're going to, be prepared, and it's going to be a war like it always is. They're a really good team that has really good, players that play really good together, and I feel like we have the same, and we got to be locked in and ready to compete on both ends.
Have the last couple of years postseason matchups, does that bring a different regular season feel to the game?
I don't think so. I think every game is, different, but you have the same mentality going in, and it's win. Obviously, they've kicked our ass the last couple, postseasons, and we want to return the favor, but you want to beat everybody you play.
All right, here it is. Yeah, speaking of everyone you play, Western Conference standings. So the Rockets had a crazy comeback at the end against Philly, went to overtime and they won. So they jump up to that 2 spot, tied with the Nuggets, who had a huge win, sitting some guys on the road against Golden State. The Grizzlies lose to Sac. The Warriors lose, and the Timberwolves lose. So the Lakers move into that 4th spot briefly, 42-25. Big one coming up against the Nuggets on Wednesday. So James, Rob, Brez, this is kind of that time of year. I mean, 15, 16 games left, depending on the team. And every single one's going to count, and it's going to change every night. But the jockeying has started already.
Yeah, the juggling down there in the standings, it really gets interesting down the stretch here. But, the one thing I think the Lakers are aware of, they are aware of where they are. Even with players out, They're playing solid basketball, and I think they're ready to take on the challenge of, staying right in that top 4 would be nice. You know what I'm saying? You get some home court advantage early. So, yeah, you get LeBron, Rui back, then you make a strong case down the stretch of trying to win some games to position yourself to be where you need to be in the playoffs.
It's so important. A lot of times guys are like, well, we don't care where we are in the seeding. When you have a major trade as the Lakers, you're still developing that rhythm. And so what's better, be at home where you can get good practice time on your court. And so that's the rhythm that I'm looking for these guys to develop, because we said it earlier that Luka's still getting in shape. We still don't have 2 starters back. So that's going to be vital, because they're missing some significant time because they've been out. So they need to get back into playing shape. So they need some home court cooking going on.
It's been 5 years since they were the higher seed in a playoff series. Yeah. I mean, that year, it was the bubble, so it wasn't really a home court series, right? So it's time for them to be a top 4. No more playing. Looks like they're going to avoid that. It's not guaranteed, but now you got to salt away that top 4. And Geek, just a couple weeks ago, they were 2, and then a couple days ago, they were down to like 5. And now, you can slowly, or quickly, I should say, move up or down in this in the top 5, top 6 in the West. Outside of number 1, obviously, OKC's got it salted away pretty much. They're going to clinch in like a week, the number 1 seed. It's crazy how they play.
I'm with you too, Rob.
It's unbelievable.
It does matter, and it's okay to say that it matters, because the Lakers are one of the best home teams in the league. So you want to be home.
It matters, and when during the season when you have to travel, 82-game schedule, sometimes it's good to go on the road and band his brothers and get away from the distraction. During the playoffs, it is great to be at home.
Yeah, man.
I'm telling you, want to be at home around your comfortabilities and your bed. It makes a big difference.
As I said, think about it, I always laugh at when guys say, oh, it doesn't matter where we are. And it's about 95% of those guys that say that never won a championship. I'm like, yes, it does matter where you are. It makes it a lot easier.
Can I say that next time someone says it to me and I'm interviewing them? I say, well, by the way, Rob has.
Yeah, just say, hey, have you won a championship? See,
contact, 3-point play, Austin Reaves.
Time to hear from Luka.
Bad man.
Hey, Luka, how encouraged have you been about the shot quality that you guys are getting on offense, and kind of the way your teammates are learning to play with you, and what spots to be in, Jackson returning, Austin on the weak side, all of those things? What's encouraging to you, and where do you feel like is the final piece?
Yeah, I mean, people start learning that at some point in the game, they're going to double team me. So, like I always say, I accept that. And I like playing that. Saves my energy. And, you just got to play 4 and 3. And I think guys are doing great out of there.
Luka, you guys play Denver on Wednesday. Obviously, just coming off the recent game in Denver, but this franchise has history with them. I know you have a relationship with Jokic. Kind of, how do you view them as a opponent to be reckoned with in the Western Conference?
Look, I think the team that has Jokic on is always dangerous. With him on the court, there's always danger, and it's hard to play against him. He knows all the tricks. He's an amazing basketball player, but that's fun. That's fun for us. That's a challenge for us, and it's fun. We like challenges, and I think it's going to be a great game.
Luka, JJ told us that I think 70% of the threes you guys created tonight were uncontested. Wide open. As Dorian would call them, butt naked, wide open, 3-point shots. For the shot quality to be that high on a night when you particularly didn't shoot it very well.
Not terrible.
What does that say about the potential for this offense? Also knowing that you've got, 40 points a game or whatever it is between LeBron and Rui on the bench waiting too.
It just shows the team we have. I think we share the ball very good. When we play with pace, it's very hard to stop us. And, like you said, open threes are, when you have that many open threes, you should win the game and you should make threes. So we just got to keep playing like that and share the ball like we do.
Last week, JJ told us that he wanted to get more off-ball movement, specifically for you and AR, installed into the offense. Seemed like you guys were able to get to that, not just tonight, but even last night, especially early in the game.
For me?
Excuse me?
For me, off-ball?
Yeah, like you you coming off ball, like screens off the ball, and then eventually getting the ball.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm kidding.
What do those actions do for you, and do for the team when you're able to operate that way?
Makes my life easier. Those actions that he put. There was one ATO today that we ran it twice, and it was just for an alley-oop. So that explains JJ's mind, the way he sees basketball. It's amazing. But just me and AR coming off the ball, it helps me and him and everybody else, because we do it with pace. It's hard to stop us.
Luka, Dalton Knecht had another solid game tonight. He led the team in scoring. What have you seen from him during your time here that's helped impact winning?
Who you said?
Dalton.
Dalton, yeah. I mean, he had a great game. He had a lot of great games. He's learning how to play. I'm learning how to play with him. And, he's a promising rookie for sure.
Luka, čau. Prvo vprašanje je mogoče, koliko se trenutno zabavaš, glede na to, da vidimo nasmejanega, tudi kar nekaj heca je bilo v slačilnici prej, koliko se trenutno zabavaš v novi ekipi?
Super je. Mislim, da ko bi rekel, vsi v slačilnici so super. Velike zafrkavanja, rečem zajebancija, ampak počutim se super, vsi so me sprejeli super, tako da je top.
Še vprašanje povezano z Denverom. Na zadnje, ko si igral proti Denverju, ste zmagali, to je bila ena pomembna zmaga za ekipo, pa tudi za tvoj prihod. Koliko se veseliš igrati proti Nikoli?
Ja, mislim, te tekme so zmer težke. Meni težke tekme so zmer ekstra motivacija, tako da zelo se veselim te tekme.
Luka, you obviously had a lot of admiration for LeBron and had watched him play growing up and stuff like that, but I'd only seen Austin a couple times a year when the Lakers would come through Dallas. It seems like the two of you guys are finding chemistry in pretty good ways on the court. What do you like about the way he approaches the game?
I mean, this guy just scored 30 in his 4 game in 5 days. That explains everything. But he's an amazing player. For him to go undrafted is unbelievable. And, it's not easy to go undrafted and then play at this level. And it's amazing just to be by his side.
Thank you. Even Luka is blown away that Austin Reaves went undrafted. Time for Access 360. Lakers ball movement tonight. Big shots break down as big game plays the base.
Hey, he was probably too old. That's what they think now. Like, if you go 4 years in college, it's a bad thing. But it's a good thing because you learn. And right here, the Lakers are learning how to move the basketball. Right here, you got a guy get to the corner. Luka, then he penetrates, sets a little pick for good one. Now I'm going to post up. This is the best thing. You post up, everybody moves. But this is a smart play by Good. Good going to go right here and say, you know what? I see you, Castle, not playing this. I'm going to set a little down screen on you. It leaves Austin look right up on the line, knock down 3. Bang. Now we get another pick and roll right here. You get some penetration, but you don't go anywhere. Now let's set it back up. Dalton Knecht, give me a pick and roll. Now look, you got an opportunity to dive. Great pick and roll dive. All the spacing. Everybody, what are you gonna do? The spacing? Nope. You gonna leave me alone? I'm one of the best shooters in the game. Sure, it could be rookie of the year. JJ played me more. Okay. Now here we go. Now I got an opportunity. I just knocked down one. Look at all this space. Now this is the best thing. The defender's in no man. Like, what do I do? Where do I go? Up. Can't go nowhere because we move the ball so well, so fast that it gets an open shot. Now this one, you got Luka, another pick and roll. Everything is set at the top of the key. When you do it at the top of the key, you have the option to go either way, right or left. He draws 2 defenders. Look, now you got everybody spacing is great again. You get in the middle of Jackson Hayes, you could have hit the diver, but nope, you go to the 3 ball right there by AR. It's so great when you move the basketball like that. Everybody gets a chance to shoot pot shots. When I say pot shots, that means great shots, and the percentages go up so much when you got open J's instead of shooting long contested threes.
Yeah, 34 assists as a team. Coming from, obviously, Luka is the major guy that makes the assists, but 34 assists coming from different players, from different angles on the court really puts a lot of pressure on the defense. So, yeah, they're really willing to share that peel. You always want to shoot it, but you want to touch it every now and then.
Yeah, it seems like they're having fun doing it too, right? Like everybody. And I think you brought up such a funny point in the pregame show. Like, man, Jackson Hayes' defense. Now that he's getting the ball and getting easy dunks, all of a sudden you got a little extra energy on the other end of the floor when you're not touching the ball.
Think about this: what do you not give your kids at night? Sugar, right? So that's what we say. You give a big a little sugar. I mean.